of God. And what is the mountain that it's talking about? What was the mountain that was in the way?
Mount Zion.
Yeah.
Say something?
And you go read Hebrews, and it talks about Mount Sinai that was encircled. It's talking about death. Right? What was the mountain? Death. So, have the faith of God. God's Spirit conquers death.
Amen.
Have the faith of God. His life dwells in me. His life swallows death. How do we know? We saw it in the resurrection. Have the faith of God. Now that faith starts dwelling in me and it starts working me. And when death comes to my house, the faith that's dwelling in me reminds me that I have a life in me that overcomes the death in the world. I have the faith of God. Now the mountain gets removed and cast into the sea. I don't see a mountain that's death keeping me from God. I see nothing can separate me from the love of God. I see nothing can separate me from life. And that dispels the fear from my heart, right? But that's not me exercising faith or working faith. It's just a matter of me having heard the faith and that faith persuading me, right?
Wow.
That faith persuades.
Wow.
It actually persuades you. In fact, if you go look at the root word of the Greek word for faith in the New Testament, it means to persuade another of something.
Yes.
And it says to make someone your friend. And so the word faith is a noun, and it speaks of God coming to persuade us of something. And when our hearts are persuaded of it, guess what? We find our hearts purified from fear. How are you going to be persuaded of something? The only way you can be persuaded of something is by hearing it.
Hear it.
And if there's aspects of it you don't agree with it, wrestling with it. Right? And so the faith is going to come and confront everything you've ever been taught, everything you've ever thought, everything you've ever learned, because after all, we've grown up in this world. And this world is filled with its wisdom and its thinking. The faith is going to come and confront it all. And there might be areas that you cave in immediately, because you might have already come to the end of yourself. You might have said, there's no life for me in this world. I don't want it. You may have already laid it down, at which point you're like, the faith. Glory to God. Right? But if there's other areas, if you're like me, and you don't just say, okay, yeah, that's right, God, and you wrestle with God, then you wrestle with the faith. But that's just a reasoning with God or with other people around the faith. You know? Like I got good friends. I sit with them and we reason about the faith. People message me all the time. They hear the messages. They hear things I say. And it challenges their thoughts. And it, what? And so then they message me. What about this? What about that? How does this fit with this? I like what you say, but how? And so they're wrestling with the faith. Right? They're twisting on it. You know, like a cow has got like 4 or 5 stomachs. It chews on a thing, and then it like regurgitates it, and then it takes it into its second stomach, chews, spits it back out, twists it around, then takes it down to the third one. That's what we do with the faith. You chew on it. You're trying to taste it. What is this taste? It's like someone gives you a piece of food, like the Food Network, and they're doing the taste test, and they, what's the flavors in there? That's what the faith is like. We chew on it, we feed on it, and we're just...
And you get whole milk out of it. There you go.
So can I ask you one thing?
Yeah.
Because we were